Hi, what's going on, you guys? Back at you with a very special episode of Rodney Watches Fake News. Now, I've been watching White House press briefings, CNN, MSNBC type stuff. So to keep things balanced, today we're going to go watch some Fox News fake news. So let's dive into it. Please like the video, sub to the channel, and let's go.
We are getting new reports of Democrats' internal concerns about President Biden's decline and the apparent effort by his allies to keep those concerns hidden. ABC News is reporting that multiple people who attended the White House Juneteenth concert just 17 days before the debate said that they had concerns after personally watching Biden. A Democratic
They're making
state
it so dramatic.
reportedly said, quote, "We didn't know quite what to make of it, but we thought that it was different and that he seemed..."
You see the inflections in her voice, how they're just making absolutely nothing sound like a huge deal?
Altered. State lawmakers and a former Obama official reportedly described Biden at the event as, quote, aloof, and
stiff,
and his speech
garbled.
And we're now learning powerful Democrats are reportedly furious at Biden's inner circle.
Furious.
They say his allies have been hiding his decline.
What my colleagues and I have...
I could do that job. Instead of just saying, like, Biden did not have a good speech, he was showing signs of cognitive decline. You go, Biden did not have a good speech. He was showing cognitive decline. That's how they do it. I could do that job. I don't want to do it.
Really reported on is there is a lot of anger and the blame that is being placed on the inner circle of advisors and family members around the president. And what these people say is this really painstakingly choreographed and stage managed daily operations at the White House around the president that is
it's all
specifically designed
it's all smoke and mirrors.
The public from often seeing the president in these extended unscripted settings.
And that's why he never goes to the White House briefings.
That they are so furious about is this idea that when people have gone to these inner circle of advisors around the president to express some of these concerns, that they were not taken
They're like, nah,
or really brushed aside. This is what one top Democrat told me. They said everyone who
they used to only bottom Democrats
suspicion or contrary views, they call everyone and they beat them and say stay on message. Now it is not just the inner circle of advisors that is getting a lot of this heat. It is also...
It's just crazy. Like I heard some congressman the other day tell one of the people, like, rule number one about a hole is when you're in one, stop digging. And I feel like the liberals just keep digging, dude. Do I only have? I thought I only had 5 minutes left on the camera roll. I was like, damn. Yeah, they just keep digging and digging and digging.
Members of the president's family who, of course...
Like, why wouldn't you just take an L and just come back 4 years from now? You know, like, clean up your reputation. Be like, yeah, you know, we put the wrong guy in. Our news has been pretty fake. Yeah. We need to step back and readdress some of our stuff. But they're not going to do that. They're just going to keep doubling down.
Have been up there, really standing by the president's decision to so far stay in this race.
So, Todd, it's not just them keeping him hidden from the polls. He doesn't seem to be given the actual polls. But now we're finding out that there's retaliation happening.
Does this
It's weird seeing attractive people on TV.
Officially end the narrative that has been existing for decades that Joe Biden is just old Uncle Joe from Scranton? Oh, you know, common man Joe. Let's be real. Joe Biden is part of and in charge of, if you believe he's actually in charge of anything, the most Machiavellian administration in history. Let's be brutally honest what this is all about. They do not care.
You know, I came here to shit on them, but they're spitting.
About the taxpayers that pay their salary to keep them in office, to have them do the job of president. They do not necessarily care about anything other than getting power and holding on to power. This is all about Jill Biden making sure that she can remain first lady because it feeds her ego. This is all about Hunter Biden.
I don't know about Jill. I just think it's like the whole, you know, it's his whole administration. None of them want to find new jobs because why would they?
Making sure daddy's in power so that we can maintain the ability for me to get a pardon/commutation. And this is all about Joe Biden, who for 82 years has felt insecure about his place in the government because he's not the smartest guy. He didn't go to the best schools. This is all an attempt for him to feel good. Yeah. And the interests of the country don't matter, it seems.
Right. Well, Emily, let me tell you this. We've now learned, first off, this Milwaukee radio station. We have now learned that the station said that it edited President Biden's interview at the campaign's request. They actually did that. And then we also were learning that a close look at more than 24 radio and podcast interviews given by Mr. Biden over the past 2 years, Emily, 2 years, that they actually, appearance after appearance, he was served up nearly identical questions, pre-screened or suggested ahead of time by campaign staff members, and nearly...
The thing is, though, they seem all so like shocked by this, but this is just stuff that we've known, you know? This is us like internet trolls. We've always known this.
Every case, the questions set the president up to deliver on-message talking points without notable flubs.
Learn German with great German TV.
Incredible.
So the way that the story has been told, and now that we're sort of learning what's behind the scenes, it's that began as a seeming protection, and then it developed into deception. And then it came from deception into, your point, downright aggression, right? So the end of the day, though, I posit that it's not just this president or his small group of close advisors and the first lady or the like. This is the Democrat Party.
Yeah, dude.
The Democrat
That's what
Party
I'm
is
saying.
not the one that we grew up with, or not the one that
They're
our
not.
parents grew up with. It
Nope.
is a machine, an unforgiving, cruel, toxic machine. And the notion that you're able to either think for yourself, as we've seen, has been punished. Whether you're in the media, whether you have a D before your name and you've dared to say your own mind, whether you have a certain type of skin color and dared to vote a different way, you are reminded that the Democrat Party stands for lockstep. And within that lockstep is the tight control of the protection, deception, aggression of everything behind the scenes with this president. So to this point,
That's
I just
both
say
sides, though,
that
you know?
Take it the next step, which is the next president will be exactly the same. There's a manufactured quality to them in the entire narrative. It is not going anywhere, so make sure you vote with an R next to the name, and you tell your neighbors to do so also.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, if you listened last night to House Intelligence Committee ranking member Jim Himes, he's from Connecticut, he's a Democrat. He last night came out after the president's news conference and said, basically, I can't support this anymore. Listen to what he said on MSNBC.
It's really not about tonight. And one of the really kind of sick aspects of this moment is that we are watching every speech.
All right, I'm bored. This is so apparent. Let's see. What else we got? Shitting on Fox is kind of hard because maybe when Trump's back in office and they're sucking him off, I want to see like actual reporting. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah, that sucked. See y'all for the next one.